Hello, YouTuber Woobers. It's the 11th, 17, which is in the United States is Veterans Day, the only day that doesn't change its day for to be on a Monday or Friday. So kind of an interesting thing to have it as a holiday on a Saturday. But happy veterans to all those veterans out there, whether you're in this country or others. We always appreciate your dedication for what you do for us. And so it's a whopping 26 degrees. The high today was 31. The low last night was like 16. And it's only the beginning of November. What the heck? It's kind of interesting that as soon as we had the election earlier in the week, that the temperatures across the country have kind of plummeted. And not that I have any kind of metaphysical aspect to, well, of course I do, to different things like the weather. Um, but it's just interesting that it kind of occurred around that time. A lot of people have had snowstorms this week that um, are a little bit on the early side for many of us anyway. We had a snowstorm. It wasn't huge, fortunately, but we had, I don't know, maybe an inch or so. Um, but anywho, anybody who's been watching the United States lately, this week, the big thing this week has been sex scandals, particularly around actors, but also um, politicians. But it's been a huge thing in the news, and but it's not so much sex scandals of happenings of right now. It's happenings in the past that may have happened years ago and have been brought up this week. Um, and I just find it kind of an interesting thing that it is that people find it very disturbing that such kind of things can actually happen with their favorite actors or actresses or politicians or such. That they find it disturbing that it could happen. And I've been giving it a lot of thought around things. I mean, there's a lot of people that have been sexually abused as a child, me being one of them, and so, but it doesn't really cloud my judgment. I still kind of question everything and kind of wonder about whether some of these accusations are just to get the person discredited, because of course, in this country right now, the big thing is about having Trump as president, and people would rather have the criminal lady that was also running as president, regardless of her crimes against the United States uh, and its people. Of course, that's just my opinion, of course, but it's just an interesting thing. And what comes to my mind about all of this thing is that um, what people really object to. Kind of drifting on the camera here. Let's see. Back into the middle. Um, so many countries around the world, including the United States, they put more money into the military than their people. In the United States, if you look at the financial pie chart of the federal government, it's probably a good 5/8 worth of the pie chart is actually military, and then the rest is a combination of everything else. So when they say we can't afford to pay for free health care for its citizens, they could do it, or free education. Well, they could do it if they took money out of the military. Does the United States have to have a base in just about every country of the world? Can you imagine that if every country in the world had a base, every other country in the world, where would we actually be? You know, you'd be tripping over everybody else's bases in your country, particularly something small like the Philippines or New Zealand or some place that has a small island that you'd have bases in every town. It's we have ships all over the world. We have presence in all over the world. We have troops all over the world. Do we have to do that? What if we cut down our military and put more money towards healthcare and education and just it's just a crazy thing. And but other countries do it also. They look at the Rocket Man. He has people are starving. They have crops that are failing. And he's building nuclear bombs because he wants to be able to act like one of the tough boys on the planet. So, a lot of countries in this world, they do treat their people horribly. And there are people in countries in this world that are, I'm not saying the United States or Vietnam or all these other countries that I've mentioned are horrible as far as treating their people, but there are countries in this world that do in fact treat their people with the little and least amount of respect. And really people don't really, they are aware, but they don't really care, But then you have these sexual allegations and people are all up in arms and say, oh, we can't do this, we got to stop this, we got to pass laws. Well, there are already laws in place saying you can't do this. They're already. And, when it's a politician or a senator or a judge that is the one actually doing this stuff, but they know that the laws exist and they still do it anyway. They get away with it because they know they can get away with it. But the reality is this is really, it all goes back, I think it all really connects to slavery. Because slavery is essentially a power over other people. Not treating people with the respect and dignity that they deserve. And whether it's a sexual thing, whether it's, paying them for what they're worth, whether it's, treating them with respect, whether it's just smiling at a fellow human being when you pass them on the street. It's all what it is. But in this day and age, the sexual stuff is a charged thing. Apparently, murder isn't as much of a charged thing because we've had a number of that occurrences. We have shootings in this country every week. We've had some horrific ones that have been in Las Vegas and that church that we had this week, last Sunday. But there are other countries. Chicago, there's shootings every week. There's shootings. There's shootings in the city that's up the road from me. So, I mean, these things are happening all around us, and we kind of cringe when we hear it. But they're not cringing as much as they are when someone makes a sexual allegation, even if the thing happened 40 years ago. And I'm just bringing this up as something for people to ponder if you even bother to listen to my video. A 9-minute video, who wants to listen to that? Really, sometimes it's hard to listen that long, particularly with a old fat guy with a beard. But anywho, I just thought I'd share this on a Happy Veterans Day. And, I don't know. Go out and dig in some dirt. Grow something.